Good morning. I'm going to call our meeting to order. Order in the court. Order in the crowds. Welcome to the September Greenwood County Democratic Party breakfast meeting. My name is Bill Kimler. I am the chair, and I just love seeing you all here on a beautiful Saturday morning in September. I am just so thankful it is not 90 degrees outside. I'll take this early morning weather any day of the week. If I could please have everybody rise, and if you have hats on, doff your hats. We're going to say our Pledge of Allegiance. For those that are new to this meeting, we have a tradition of putting a special emphasis on the final two words of our pledge. Let's begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. If we could start off with a moment of silence. We want to take just a couple of seconds to center ourselves, to think about those who have been lost along the way. I would like you to keep in mind also the Bowles family. We lost Glenn Bowles, husband of City Councilwoman Betty Bowles, over the past month. So please keep that family in your prayers, and also take a moment to be grateful for the things you are blessed in life. So a moment of silence, please. All right, thank you. I would like to welcome some people. We have a couple of VIPs today that I wish to call out. First, I want to welcome back Jill and Frank Kazwara. Obviously, they can't stand the heat, so they get out of the kitchen and go up north during the summer. But now they are back, and it's great to see their smiling faces, and it's great to have another fellow Philadelphia Eagles fan in attendance, because I seem to get beaten up every month I mention it. I get beaten up for it. But Frank's got my back. I also want to welcome Kendall. Where are you? This is the granddaughter of Kathy and George Swindell. She is officially one of the youngest people ever to walk in this building. So we're very grateful to have you. She comes from North Carolina, and she also is from Delaware, Wilmington, right? Oh, Wilmington, North Carolina, sorry. So a North Carolinian coming to visit us, and that's wonderful. I also want to call out a couple of VIP ladies. Over here to my left is Betty and Margaret. Margaret is the mother of our first vice chair, Jamel Brooks. Apparently today is Bring Your Mama to Work Day. And Betty is her auntie who keeps everybody in line. So welcome, and we're really glad to have you here. I would also like just a quick show of hands for how many of you is this your first time at a Greenwood County Democratic Party breakfast meeting? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's awesome. Welcome. We're a friendly crowd. Please be nice to them, because we want them to come back. This is how we grow. We started off these breakfast meetings with just one person in attendance, and look how it's grown over the years. So this is absolutely wonderful. It gives me joy to see that you take some time out on a Saturday morning to come talk a little politics, come talk a little community, maybe have a little bit of fun and food in between. For those who are new, restrooms are over there. Food is over there, and we need all the food eaten before we leave. I can't take any of them donuts back with me. So as you leave, go check out the table and take any for the road. We have a lot of literature. For those of you who are donors to our party, we put that money to good use. You see a lot of printed literature about issues, about events, about voting registration and voting rights. It's all good stuff back there. If you are so inclined, we have merchandise in the far back. If you want to wear it loud and proud that you are a Greenwood Democrat, we've got 2 styles of shirts plus a tumbler that you can put some cold drinks in. The prices are back there. Just put the money in the box where you checked in. We'll trust you all. Honor system. Also want to thank those of you who are military veterans or actively serving, those of you who are in the medical field, as a doctor or a nurse or a first responder. So grateful. I come from a family of doctors and first responders, and I'm just glad for what you do to make our community run. I also want to thank those who are currently elected officials or who were elected officials and who are going to be elected officials one day. I especially like you. We thank you for your service to our community. Some of you aren't getting paid a ton of money. Is that right, Ms. Griffin? You paid a fortune to be in the council? No, so a lot of it is a love for the community and a love for service, and that's what drives you and me and all of us here. So I think that's it for the welcomes. Let's talk about our agenda for today. I'll share this with you. Last month, you had a little survey ticket to fill out. Many of you filled out the survey, dropped it in the box. 50 of you filled out a little survey about the breakfast meeting and what you liked and didn't like. And of course, I read through all of them. A lot of it, most of it, all of it was positive. There was one comment, and of course it was anonymous, so I don't know who you were or if you're even here, but one person said, "Bill speaks quite long, but at least he's funny." And I was like, I love that. That's the one comment of all of them that I'm going to remember. Today is going to be less Bill focused, thankfully, because we've got some amazing speakers today. So after I get through some announcements and some information, then we get to our main agenda, which is Councilwomen Teresa Griffin and Johanna Bishop. They're going to be interviewed in a panel by our first vice chair, Jamel Brooks. Then we'll hear from Josh Malkin, who's with the ACLU of South Carolina. He's actually out in the parking lot right now. He's on a Zoom call with the National Council of the NAACP. So he gets the ear of some pretty big players throughout our country. He was able to come down here from Greenville to join us today, and I can't wait to hear from him. Then we'll have some closing remarks and get on with our day. So let's talk about some of the handouts. We like to have something new each and every time. Remember, inside your agenda is a little survey about today's meeting. If you can grab a pencil or a pen and fill it out and drop it in the donation box on your way out, I would be very grateful. It really does help direct us as to what seekers we should look for. One example, last month, a few of you announced that you wanted to hear more about affordable housing as an important topic to discuss. So I'm working on getting a speaker to talk about affordable housing. If we know anybody who's in real estate, who has any ideas or connections, maybe we can help me get that speaker. But we want to make that an important topic for us. So your feedback is certainly welcome and appreciated. We've also got a new handout. It's a card called Democrats Believe. It was introduced just this past week. We made a video out of it. We made a poster out of it. If you were by the breakfast table, you saw a poster that shows what we believe and what we oppose. If you're looking for areas of common beliefs, this is a great place to start. And it keeps it simple, keeps us focused. That little card is handy to have, so make sure you grab one on your way out. We also updated an issues document, the reproductive rights. We seem to update that every month. As things change, we have to change our information as well. And in the past month, the state Supreme Court upheld the 6-week abortion ban, and so we had to update our sheet accordingly. So if you want to learn the latest on that, feel free to grab that sheet on your way out as well. And then finally, in terms of handouts, this agenda is very important. It's got everything. Hold on to this. If you look on the inside especially, there's some good information there. We had a comment a couple of breakfast meetings ago about, well, what has the Biden administration done for the country in the last 3 years? And so we want to try to expose it and share it with you. So there's a wonderful graphic on the inside of your agenda about what they've done for prescription drug costs and insulin costs and things that truly does affect the bottom line. I'm blessed right now that I'm not required to take any medications, but I know I'm just a day or two away before the doctor's starting to prescribe me blood pressure pills or whatnot. So I'm glad to see the Biden administration's fighting for me, fighting for you, and here are some facts about it. We also have a couple of logos about Freedom to Read South Carolina. As a reminder to go look them up on Facebook and follow them. A little graphic about I stand with the SCASL, that's the South Carolina Association of School Librarians, a very important group. We've got an update about student loans. Some of you still are paying off some student loans. Well, Biden came through again, even after the Supreme Court decision from last month. Aid and support is available as the payback begins. Millions have already signed up for it. Follow this link and sign up for yourself if you have student loans to see if you qualify. And then finally, there's a little QR code. There is another group I belong to called the Greenwood Counts Community Consortium. We heard from Justo Schiller about 3 or 4 months ago about what this group is doing to enable great community work that's data-driven. They're conducting a huge survey of Greenwood County citizens. If you scan this QR code, first, a survey. Who here has no idea what a QR code is? It's okay, be honest. Tap a younger person. That's why we have Kendall here. She's our QR code expert. Go see Kendall, and she'll show you how to scan that QR code and fill out a survey. It's quick. It's only 23 questions. A lot of it's multiple choice. You submit your information, and it puts you in the running for a grocery gift card as well as some other gift cards. So we want participation. They're looking to get over 1,000 responses in the next week or so. So please do take some time to fill that out. And with that, we're going to go through some updates then and get to our speakers. First of all, we had participated in a Lander University event just this past week. Thank you to Matthew Miller for securing our spot. He's our third vice chair. Thank you to Lane for the brownies. Some of the brownies that you saw on the table as you walked in came from Lane Horowitz for this event. And it was a big event with all sorts of tables and vendors, community activists, etc., trying to get attention of our college students. Let me tell you, getting their attention is hard. Must have seen 1,000 of them walk up and down, not stopping at any table, not making eye contact, trying to avoid any interaction with the outside world. But you know what? We did get a hold of a few. As you look at this picture here, you see our table set up. We were able to print that poster about what Democrats believe and what we oppose. You can see that in the background. We bought a little television, $100, and created a new video, 2-minute video that played on a loop. In fact, I was playing it here about what Democrats believe, what Democrats oppose, and a couple of them started dancing to the catchy music we provided as they watched that video. I kid you not. So we had a presence there, and I would say we did get the attention of 100 or so. Did they show up here? Probably not. They're college students. But we are going to continue that outreach. We want to hold events that focus on the college students. I remember I was a college student once. How many of you were college students once upon a time? Were you engaged or active socially or in your community back then? I know I wasn't. Many of you were, and bless you for that. You're one of the few. But we need to show them that they can have control over their community and their government, even at that age, and they should be involved. I mean, if you want to know where your donation dollars are going, it really helps us set up at events like that. Thank you so much for trusting us. The 1619 Project. We've watched 4 episodes in a group fashion so far this year, and there are 2 more to go. We watched episode 4 a couple of weeks back. Episode 5, we're scheduling for September 14th at Susie's Puppet House. The address is there. It's right off Reynolds. And we get together in a small group. We sit on a couch, put the TV up, have some snacks, have some popcorn, and watch it. And it is fascinating stuff. But we haven't really been getting the attendance that I've been hoping for. When we started off, we had about 13 people show up back when we had a headquarters, and it was good. The last 2 showings that we had, maybe 2 or 3 for each episode. And I would like to get more. So what I want to do to help encourage some of you to show up and watch this with us as we finish this series, I want to show you a 2-minute clip of what you've missed out on from the first 4 episodes, just to taste, get your appetite wet for it, and maybe encourage you to come out for more.
In August 1619, a ship arrived on these shores in Virginia, carrying the very first enslaved Africans to be brought to the British colonies of North America.
More than 400 years later, almost nothing in our country has been left untouched by the legacy of slavery and the contributions of Black Americans.
And although they tried to break our ancestors, to erase our identities, we forged a new culture of our own, giving birth to ourselves. It didn't matter, we were told, that by virtue of our bondage, we would never be American, because it was by virtue of our bondage that we became the most American of all. He always flew a flag in our front yard. Our home on a corner lot of a distressed block was humble, but my father made sure that flag was pristine. When I was young, I didn't understand how he could so proudly display his patriotism for a country that had treated him and our people so poorly. You see, my father was born into poverty in 1945 on a sharecropping farm in LaFleur County, just outside of Greenwood, Mississippi. The region was notoriously violent when it came to its near-majority Black population. Mississippi lynched more Black people than any other state in the nation. It wasn't that Black artists hadn't had success before, but before Motown, no Black company released records that consistently equaled or bettered the top white artists on the pop music charts. Chrissy Sample went through the devastating experience of losing a child before he was even born. And that loss, like those of so many other Black women, was in large part defined by race. The fetal mortality rate for Black women is more than twice that of white women, not because Black and white people are biologically different, but because evidence shows that Black women do not receive the same standard of medical care as white women. A 2019 survey of 2,700 women found nearly 23% of Black women reported being mistreated by medical staff, ranging from violations of physical privacy to being threatened or refused treatment, compared to 14% of white women who reported the same experience. My family's story mirrors that of so many other working and middle-class families in this country. Today, America stands as one of the most unequal societies in the history of the world. In 2019, the top 10% of American families owned 76% of the nation's wealth. The middle 40% of families owned 22% of the wealth. But the bottom 50%, they own just 1% of the nation's wealth.
I wear the water to my knees.
I'm gonna pray,
Wear the water to my knees.
I'm gonna pray till I die.
Oh, Lord.
The stars of Motown were the descendants of enslaved people, women and men who made music as they labored.
I'm gonna pray till I die.
My faith I got in.
I'm gonna pray,
My faith I rise again.
I'm gonna pray till I die.
The basis of American popular music began on the plantation, where our ancestors melded their traditions and rituals with Christianity and created the sorrow songs, otherwise known as spirituals. This is the 1619 Project.
So I truly hope that you can make it out. We got 2 more episodes left, and then after that, we're going to find a new series to tap into. I want to keep this monthly watch party going where we can share information. But as you can see, it's beautifully shot, beautifully narrated, emotionally touching at times. It's certainly a worthwhile effort to pursue. So join us September 14th. We have a candidate recruitment committee meeting at the end of September, Thursday, September 26th. Over at Susie's as well. We're making progress on finding names to run for office next year. And we actually are making progress as well on creating a recruitment video that we want to debut shortly. Some of you had written that you would like to try to be part of it, and I've got those names. If you want to, if you weren't at the last breakfast meeting and you would like to be part of a candidate recruitment video, basically we're looking for just one-liners, one sentence. We'll script it, film you saying it, but we want real people testifying why we want good people to represent us on the ballot. We've also got a young filmographer up and coming. His name is Tyler Chanel. He's going to be doing the videoing and music mixing for us. So we met for the first time a couple of weeks back, started to plan it out, and it's exciting. I can't wait for this to come through. This month is Hispanic Heritage Month, and with that, the South Carolina Democratic Party wants to focus on Hispanic outreach. There is a meeting coming up. If you are interested in helping us here in Greenwood, the state party is offering training, and it's going to be done over Zoom, so it's free. If you are available September 16th from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., we would love to have you help us out and gain some knowledge and share that with us, because we do have a very large growing Hispanic community in Greenwood that remains untouched, untapped, unreached out to, and we want to welcome them in, hear what they want from their elected officials, maybe even encourage for you to run for office themselves. There's a flyer back there with this graphic on the screen. If you are interested, grab that flyer and then let me know that you're participating so that I can reach back out to you and get some information and learn how. I would do it, but my Spanish is horrible. I know como estás, and that's it. I'm done. All right, so we would love to have anybody who's interested in getting involved with that community to be our representative. I don't even know what como estás means. I just know that phrase. I could be cursing at you for all I know. Our Carnell Drummond Mays Banquet, this is our biggest fundraiser of the year, is 1 month away. And Lane, I will not have you come up and speak, because I know you love the spotlight. And where's our co-host? Where is Tuanda? Is she here? I don't have my glasses. Oh, there you are. Thank you for our co-chairs for helping put this on. What we really need now are ticket sales. As I announced in our email newsletter, we have a wonderfully dynamic guest speaker, Representative Heather Bauer. She is special. You want to know why she's special? Because in the 2022 election, she was the only Democratic State House candidate who flipped a seat from a Republican. She went against a Republican incumbent, beat him, and then became another young lady representing her community. To give you a little introduction, I would like you to see her campaign video.
My name is Heather Bauer. I work in tech and I own my own business. But my life has been far from glamorous. My first memory was of my family's single-wide trailer burning down when I was 4. My dad's mood swung between drunk and angry, and I spent a lot of time staying out of his way until my mom packed us up and left him. She supported 5 kids on food stamps, but eventually I helped her study for her GED and commercial driver's license. I kept busy with 4-H and volleyball. College never crossed my mind until a recruiter called with a volleyball scholarship. Still, books and living expenses were a problem, but I worked 2 jobs and became the first in my family to graduate with honors. I spent a lot of time fighting to get somewhere better. After I earned my master's degree, I built a career as a project manager. I've held senior positions with the Nickelodeon Theater, ITology, and helped launch one of the first businesses in the Bull Street district. My husband and I even opened up our own gym. I understand the struggles of small businesses. Success doesn't come easy. But just like I tell my members, improve 1% better every day. I'll be there with you, side by side and face to face. Together, we're going to create a better community, one day at a time.
I'm Heather Bauer. I'm running for House District 75, and I'm ready to do the heavy lifting.
I cannot wait to see her. I've spoken with her before. She's amazing. She makes us feel all guilty for having donuts this morning. But as you can see, she is tough. She does not back down. She's got a spine that is equal, if not surpasses, anybody else you'll ever meet. So we welcome Heather. She will be making her trip to Greenwood and bringing some friends with her along the way. We would love to have you there at our Carnell Drummond Mays Banquet. So George over there is at the special table for the Carnell Drummond Mays Banquet. He's got tickets available for sale. If you can buy some now, that's great. If you know you can sell them, you know people you can coerce into buying some, take some with you, and George will record your name down and so on. But we want to try to get at least 150 attendees. We are at the main event. In fact, we will be one of the first, if not the first events that they're holding. So they are right next to Ollie's. They're building the facility. They want to be a premier catering and event center in our community. It would be great for us to give a good first impression for them and help out a local business. I would also like to make a shout out to our neighbors to the west, the McCormicks, the McCormick County Democratic Party, represented by the Goldmans. They are holding their fish fry on October 7th. That's the Saturday after our dinner. So you're full from our dinner and you want some fried fish to wash it down on Saturday, come on out with us to McCormick and enjoy some time out there. He's got tickets for sale. If you want to go by and book some, you can. $15 if you buy them now. $200 at the door. Oh, I'm sorry, $20 at the door. I misread that. But it's always a good time to be had. And then I also want to shout out the Abbeville Democrats. Where are you at? Mary Lou and Brenda Anderson. Hello, welcome from Abbeville. They're holding their fish fry and hot dog fundraiser on September 16th from 11 to 1:30 over at the Abbeville Civic Center. It's only a 10-mile drive for me, so I will be there. And they have a guest speaker, Mr. Irvin Bryson, head coach of the Charlotte Thunder. I don't know the Charlotte Thunder. Are they playing the Eagles anytime this year? No? Well, wonderful. Well, come on out and support our neighbors. If we help each other out like they've helped us, we all grow stronger as a result. So let's hope for some good weather and some good dogs and some good fish. Lastly, before we get to our speakers for the day, just a quick calendar review. Again, on your agenda, on the back is a calendar of events. We've got our 1619 Episode 5 watch and viewing session. Tuesday, September 19th is National Voter Registration Day. As you saw in your ticket, I asked you to check a box that says, will you commit to registering one voter this month? Find a family member, find a high schooler, find a neighbor. Register one individual. You can grab registration forms from our table. Just have them fill it out and turn it in to the voter registration office on Monument Street. All right, just register one person for us, and that'll go a long way. We have an executive committee meeting the 21st at 6 p.m. Candidate recruitment, Tuesday the 26th at 6 p.m. I might have to change that now that I think about it. The candidate recruitment overlaps with our Carnell Drummond Mays planning meeting. So we may have to find a new date for that. Then we have the Carnell, we have a celebration of Dr. Burton. Who here knows Dr. Vernon Burton? He's a nationally known historian from right here in 96. He's written books about the Supreme Court and civil rights throughout history. He's been a lecturer and professor for years. He is getting recognized at Lander University. It's called a celebration of Vernon Burton. I'll be there Thursday, September 28th to root him on. Then we have our Carnell Drummond Mays Banquet. Notice, no breakfast meeting in October. You knock on these doors the first Saturday of October, nobody will be here. Or whoever is here will be surprised to see you. No breakfast meeting because of the Carnell Drummond Mays Banquet. Then we will resume in November with breakfast. All right, with that,